Today on the channel, like my old elementary pal Ariel used to say, let's go under the sea. This time, though, with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Mer-Man Walmart Vintage Collection.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another He-Man and the Masters of the Universe unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got the latest from the Walmart Vintage Collection in Mer-Man. But for all your Mer-Man Walmart needs, I guess Walmart. But for everything else under the sun, make sure you're hitting up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Got to get a deal out there. And deal I thought I got with this one is I went to my local Walmart, as one does. And there I go, looking on the shelf. Got 6 of these mermen just chilling on the shelf like it's no thing at all. And of course, a week before I found him at my local Walmart, I had my order canceled from Walmart online. I don't know what it is. I never have cancellations with anything outside of He-Man figures. And unfortunately, this was canceled. I said, well, I'll find it eventually at the store, I guess. Well, that came about a week later. So I'm just happy the nightmare's over. I got Mer-Man in my collection, but always a challenge with Walmart and their pre-order system. It is truly a roll of the dice. Yeah, Todd, it's like playing Russian roulette. You want to play again later tonight? One of these days, we're going to be a loser. And hopefully you're on the business end of the losing scenario, because I'm a winner, baby. Maybe, maybe not. But this one I'm happy to have. Of course, Mer-Man, a classic character. Dare I say, one of the core characters on the bad guy side, as we know. And we also know how we're going to do this review. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And this is kind of the new Eternia vintage Masterverse scale, I guess what I'm looking for. This is part of the Masterverse here. Now, we don't know what's going on with the Masterverse. Apparently, Chronicles is taken over. This is on ice. Is it canceled? Nobody knows, but here's another figure from the Masterverse. So maybe we'll just continue to get Masterverse from Walmart. We'll continue on with these. I would be okay with that, in all honesty. I guess we'll see what ends up happening in the future. Maybe it'll get clearer at San Diego Comic-Con in a couple of months. We'll see where it goes. Is this the final figure from the vintage collection? There's a lot of unanswered questions there. But we're going to dive into this Mer-Man here. And as I said, one of my all-time favorites is a little kid playing with the original figure up to the modern age here, as we've had a lot of Mer-Man figures over the years. And we'll do a little bit of comparison later in this video. Usual vintage collection packaging here. Got all the rocks and everything looking good. Classic Masters logo. Vintage collection. Window box. In case you meet him at a con or something, or maybe SeaWorld or trip to the beach. I don't know. I think I was at Venice Beach a couple weeks ago, Todd. I think I saw him swimming with the surfers. I could have been mistaken. I always get him confused with some other guys I see around. But looking good here. 30 points of articulation. Oh my goodness. It does say the Ocean Warlord. Much like the Warlord from Barbarian and Warlord Powers of Pain, but totally different in Under the Sea, as we know. Nothing too fun here, nothing too fun there. On the back, some classic artwork up top, looking very good. A little creepy with Beastman looking like Bigfoot or King Kong or something, carrying Teela, his victim, and then Skeletor leading the way, like, this way, ha! And who knows what they're going to do with poor Teela. She's seen better days, there's no doubt about it. Glamour shots down here, generic blurred down low. Let's see what it says. Lurking deep beneath the sea, Mer-Man awaits the evil call to arms of Skeletor. Awaits the evil call to arms of Skeletor. To arms, that just reads weird to me. It says arm with a sword, arm with a trident. Okay, choose your own armed adventure here. I love the corncob sword. We'll get into that. In 1982, Masters of the Universe took the world by storm with action figures that captured the imaginations of people from here to Eternia. Today, the Masterverse celebrates the original designs as modern 7-inch scale action figures with the vintage collection. They sure do, folks. They sure do. Do we got the baggie? We got the baggie on the side? No? Oh, yep. There's a baggie in there. Ta-da! There it is. Vintage collection. Doing vintage things. Putting some spin on it. See you later. Masters looking beautiful. Love the extra attention to detail there. And we get the trident here. You got to have that trident. I don't care if you're Namor or you're Aquaman. You got to have a trident. It's apparently a thing to do. Oh, we also got some hands in here. Almost got too quick on the old see you later. Almost. See you later, goodbye. Hands, we get a gripping hand and a fist of fury. Out of the package, a gripping hand and a splayed out hand. So choose your own Merman hand adventures. We also got this trident, like I said, Aquaman, Namor, Merman. It is their weapon of choice. Got a little jewel on the end. 3-prong here. If you go to land, you can bale the hay with it. You can do whatever you want to. Use it as a fork. Every once in a while, I like to go to these Chinese restaurants. You ever been to a Chinese restaurant, Todd? You are a Chinese restaurant. I don't even know what that means. But I go occasionally, and I sometimes say, this silverware is a little suspect. You ever get that metal silverware that's extremely thin and you're trying to cut something, it bends the silverware or it cuts into your hand? Long story short, it's cheap silverware. I have a Chinese buffet that's kind of that way, and it has the worst silverware ever. So I do what most people would do, and I'm sure, doesn't everybody do this, Todd McFarlane? I always go to my Mer-Man figures, and I find one of the tridents, and I actually bring this as my fork to the restaurant. I just do one of these things, and yes, I know, you're saying it, and the people are saying it, Kyle, be a real guy, use some chopsticks. But no, why would I use chopsticks? Come on. Chopsticks is the biggest farce I've ever heard in my absolute entire life. Chopsticks, they were great back before the fork was invented. When people were trying to figure out a way to get food, they were getting a couple of sticks and said, let's just shovel it in with these. Great idea at the time. But as things progress in the world, you go back to their earliest cars. Yeah, they were great. It was nice to get some automotive travel, but nobody's going to go back in time and take those old-timey cars and go across the country or whatever. You're going to get in your Ford Focus and you're going to run across the country or something. And it's the same thing. Chopsticks, great at the time, terrible now. Use a fork. Be a real person. Constant learning, constant improvement. Eat that fork. It'll save you time. It'll save your sanity. The more you know. The more you know, folks. I hate to get on my soapbox, but there it is. Vintage Collection Mer-Man doing Mer-Man things in the Vintage Collection. And what do you know? He's got twist ties all over him here. It is, of course, Mattel, and we can't spell Mattel without twist ties. Try to do it. Get a piece of paper out, get a pen or a pencil. Choose your own adventure. And try to spell Mattel without twist ties. I bet you can't. Bet you can't. There you go. Oh, twist ties in the feet. Of course there is. How dare I miss those? How dare? There's one. There's two. Buckle my shoe. 3, 4, close the door. See you later. Goodbye. Twist ties. Get them off the table. Let's get down to business. Let's start with that corncob sword. How about? Just beautiful. Of course, a kid growing up in the Midwest, the heart of corn country, you had corn on the brain. And Todd, did I tell you my wife eats corn the long way? It's crazy. It's quite the talent. Can't wait for this special 4th of July episode of the Kyle Peterson Show podcast where my wife, maybe she'll demonstrate how she eats corn the long way. It's a wild pro tip. You got to do it, but it's amazing. But this is not my favorite corncob sword. This almost looks like it's got one bone, one long bone right up through the middle. It almost has a glowing effect around it is how it looks to. It doesn't have the coral or corncob look to it like I'm used to. That being said, I still know what this is when I see it. So iconic once upon a time, still iconic to this day. And speaking of iconic, how about Mer-Man? Mer-Man getting his job done here. Looking like a green, scared underwater stinkor is what it looks like to me. But obviously they share a lot of the same stuff as we know. We've had different heads over the years with Mer-Man. How do you like your Mer-Man head? I'm just happy if I can get it from Mer-Man. But we got a nice one here. Looking like stinkor. Maybe we'll get a stinkor in this collection. Maybe in the future. We'll see. Got that orange around the eyes. The very surprised look. Got those piranha-like teeth. Got the interesting tealish kind of greenish blue color going on. Looks like Mer-Man. Somebody hands me this head, I know who it is. Got the vest over the top here. You got the storage for the sword. Always great to be able to store stuff on here if need be. Got the little chest protector there. Very underwater nautical theme here going on. Diving down here, of course, it is Eternia, and you got to have Eternia's finest loincloth. But have you had it in orange? Not till Mer-Man rocked it. Looking pretty good. Got that Mer-Man Ocean Warlord title belt. Looking very nice along the way. You got the skin tone consistent throughout the whole body. Uh-oh, got a twist tie stuck in the elbow. How does that happen? But consistent coloring throughout on here. Not a lot of different color details on this one. Down to the feet here, you got those very under-the-sea feet here. Looking like an alien foot almost. 3 toes looking good. 5 fingers on Mer-Man here. So he's a hybrid is what he is. He's one of those alien hybrids that were made in a scientist closet, I think, after hours or something. Maybe. Articulation, arms all the way around for us. Bicep cut, double jointed. Pinless elbows, playing all the hits. Hands back and forth, side to side, gripping hand. Head back and forth, side to side. You get the dumbbell up top, plus traditional waist. Drop down hips, got to have them. Big old Mer-Man splits. He's not messing around in the splits department. Leg goes up for that big boot. Thigh cut. double jointed, pinless knees, boot cut, ankles, back four, side to side, up and down. Playing all those hits across the board here. Very, very cool. Very plain in the grand scheme of things, but man, it works. This is Mer-Man when we think of him. He's got the fins on the arms, fins on the legs. He's rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling his way under the sea like an ocean warlord would do. He does fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand using code Kyle to save 10%. I do got a little extra paint on the back from his face. It looks like he slopped over there. The factory slopped a little bit. A little extra orange paint on the back. As usual, your mileage may vary with old Mer-Man, but this isn't it. We've had more Mer-Man. You guys know how it goes around here. You know me, I'm a classics guy. We got the classics Mer-Man. Looking pretty darn cool. How about the Masterverse version? A lot of people don't like the Masterverse, and I liked them a lot when they came out. Obviously, it's been a few years. We've had some improved figures, constant learning, constant improvement. So I do feel the new Chronicles, they're eventually going to get to Mer-Man and Chronicles. I have a feeling it will be supreme to this one. Now, once again, this is based off the Netflix cartoon, so you got to take that into consideration. But when you're thinking of Mer-Man, it's probably more akin to what we're dealing with right here. And then we take it all the way back to the Origins days based on the original Mer-Man that was such a big part of my childhood and probably yours as well. But Mer-Man through the years, not a bad piece of business. And like I said, a core villain in the Masters of the Universe. When I think of Skeletor's henchman, I think of Beastman, I think of Evil-Lyn, and then I go Mer-Man and then Trapjaw. Your mileage may vary on that, but very iconic to me as a little kid, very iconic to me now, and pretty happy to get this from Walmart. Definitely belongs in a vintage collection when you're talking Masters of the Universe. But what say you, guys and gals out there? You picking up this Mer-Man? You going to be able to get this from Walmart by hook or by crook? Let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day and then some. And we got even more content for you on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. The best way to support this channel and all the content it does bring. Sir Paul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which of course is the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show. Each week, every Tuesday, my wife Angie and I break it down and get into all kinds of trouble each and every Tuesday wherever podcasts are found with video cast on YouTube. So for Mer-Man, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?